Hello, I'm Shiva Pashmina, and welcome to a Caltrain video. Today, I'm taking Caltrain from Menlo Park to San Jose Dirda. The ride is approximately 30 minutes. I'll be talking about rail history, about the railroad where Caltrain goes to now, leading up to when Caltrain started. So, I'll be talking about some of the railroads, like the San Francisco and San Jose Railroad and Southern Pacific. Okay, so these trains that I'll be talking about leads up to Caltrain. Plus, I'm going to give you a tour of the train itself. Let the magic begin. Alright guys, so we have Caltrain 630 pulling into this Menlo Park station. I'm going to give you a quick tour of the train. Let's see if the digital announcement actually works. We're headed to San Jose Dirda.
This is southbound local train 630, making all stops to San Jose Dirda. Next stop, Palo Alto.
Alright, so here's the middle level. And now, we are at the top level. Alright, so we're gonna actually go here this time. So, yeah, we're just about to leave Menlo Park soon. So, alright guys, we are actually arriving at the Palo Alto station. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to this digital announcement, and then I'm gonna dive in to some of the information.
This is southbound local train 630, making all stops to San Jose Dirda. Next stop, California Avenue. Please stay clear and hold on.
Alrighty guys, we're just about to depart the Palo Alto station. So the next stop we're going to is California Avenue. So let's dive into the information. So before Caltrain started, there were two rail lines that ran between San Francisco and San Jose. So the one starting in 1862 was the San Francisco.
Listed on the wall of each car. This plan outlines the emergency escape route in the unlikely event of an evacuation. During an onboard emergency, please remain seated until a crew member or emergency responder provides instructions.
And San Jose Railroad, which ran until 1870. So, starting in 1870, Southern Pacific was running the line until Amtrak in 1971, and Caltrain took over in the 1980s. These important railroads that ran before Caltrain ran the line between San Francisco and San Jose.
California Avenue.
Let's talk about each of these railroads. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about both of the railroads after we leave California Avenue. So yeah, we're gonna give a quick preview of the digital announcement.
I think that's it.
This is southbound local train 630, making all stops to San Jose Diridon. Next stop, San Antonio. Doors are closed. Please stay clear and hold on.
Okay, everyone. We're just about to part the California Avenue station, so the next stop we are going to is San Antonio. So, let's talk about the San Francisco and San Jose Railroad. Here we go. So, the San Francisco and San Jose Railroad started in 1863 with the American 440 steam locomotives and wooden cars. So, in 1859, most of the financing for the project had come from country governments in San Francisco, San Mateo, and Santa Clara counties. Then in 1861, it was followed by a 3-county election. So, the San Francisco and San Jose Railroad had constructed 2-way depots at Santa Clara and San Mateo while using the depots in San Francisco and San Jose. So, the local industry and University of Santa Clara played a significant role in stock consolidation and finding places for the depots. Alright, now let's talk about the Southern Pacific. Alright, so the Southern Pacific started in 1870 using wooden cars and steam engines. So, in 1871, Southern Pacific expanded the rail line south of San Jose, which reached Hollister and other locations in Santa Clara Valley. Diesel engines started to be used on the line, although steam engines continued on the peninsula commuter until later, which means they switched to diesel trains. So, in the 1950s, diesel electric engines replaced steam locomotives. Alright, we're just arrive in San Antonio, so I'll let you know when we're leaving the San Antonio station. Alrighty, guys. There we go. So, we're just about to leave the San Antonio station. So, the next stop we're going to is Mountain View. So, I'm going to answer some of your questions. So now, when was the first San Francisco and San Jose Railroad established? Well, the San Francisco and San Jose Railroad was established in 1860. In 1861, construction was happening. In 1863, the first train began running. So, in 1864, the rail was completed to San Jose. Alright, so how long did it take to travel from San Francisco to San Jose by train when the San Francisco and San Jose Railroad first opened? Well, when the San Francisco and San Jose Rail opened, travel time between San Francisco and San Jose was 2 hours and 20 minutes for a local service. So what were the main reasons for building the San Francisco and San Jose Railroad? Well, the plan was to provide an international seaport link for San Jose. The line had provided a direct, reliable link between San Jose and San Francisco. the San Francisco and San Jose Railroad was provided a direct link to the East Coast after the line was constructed to Sacramento. All right, so we're just about to arrive at the Mountain View station, so I will let you guys know when we're leaving the Mountain View station.
This is southbound local train 630, making all stops to San Jose Diridon. Next stop, Sunnyvale. Clear and hold on. Doors are closing. Please stay clear and hold on.
So we are actually leaving Mountain View. The next stop we're going to is Sunnyvale. So I'm going to answer another one of your questions. Why did the Southern Pacific take over San Francisco and San Jose Railroad? Well, they wanted to take control the vital San Francisco port access and consolidate its own.
Caltrain is a proof of payment system. Please have your ticket, clipper card, or mobile phone ready for inspection. Failure to comply will result in a $75 administrative citation.
So its own expanded empire, basically. All right. What were the major lines or territories controlled by the Southern Pacific at its peak? Well, Southern Pacific controlled a vast majority of the lines from the Pacific coast to the Gulf of Mexico, which includes traditional routes from Oakland, San Francisco, all the way to New Orleans. So, who were the big four associated with the Southern Pacific and Central Pacific Railroads? Well, the big four that were associated with the Southern Pacific were Leland Stanford, Collins P. Hunting, Charles Coker, and Mark Hawkins Jr. So, what locomotives did the Southern Pacific use? Well, the Southern Pacific used a wide variety of steam locomotives and diesel locomotives. So how did the Southern Pacific influence land use and urban development in Northern California? Well, the Southern Pacific influenced Northern California's land use by connecting regions to national market, also facilitated agriculture expansion and growth to networks along the line. So, it can also control vast amounts of land and used monopoly on transportation, leading to the direct growth, connecting rural areas to the urban centers and facilitating massive migrations and commemorates. All right, so we're just about to arrive in Sunnyvale. We're gonna hear this digital announcement and yeah.
This is southbound local train 630, making all stops to San Jose Diridon. Next stop, Lawrence. Doors are closing. Please stay clear and hold on.
All right, guys, we are departing Sunnyvale, so the next stop is Lawrence. Okay, what role did railroads play in the early commuter culture of the Bay Area? Well, they enabled southern growth, which connected distant towns all the way to the central cities like San Francisco and San Jose Railroad in 1864, which had the first major step which linked communities along the peninsula, which made it possible for people who lived further out to commute to work. Also driven by real estate, development, Southern Pacific and other companies had actively promoted real estate development along some of their routes, which created transit-oriented villages since they were clustered around train stations, established commuter corridors with railroads and ferries had created a major transit corridor. An example with railroads and ferries had created the major transit corridor. An example is the Key system had used ferries and rail to connect the East Bay, cities of Oakland, Berkeley, and Piedmont all the way to San Francisco. So, fostered dense downtowns, which means developing towns around train stations, which created a dense walkable downtown area, which is still characteristic of many Bay Area cities today. Facilitating large-scale migrations, railroads had made California accessible, which encouraged migration and population growth, which had created and integrating the region. Religion got pulled together by railroads, which provided reliable and reactively affordable way to attract large numbers of people, which was like influential in developing a commuter-based suburban culture.
This is southbound local train 630, making all stops to San Jose Diridon. Next stop, Santa Clara.
Okay, so I'll let you know when we're leaving the Lawrence station.
Doors are closing. Please stay clear and hold on.
Alrighty guys, we're leaving Lawrence. So the next stop is Santa Clara. Now we're gonna move to questions about Caltrain. During what hours does Caltrain typically operate? Well, weekday service runs from 5 a.m. to 1 a.m. and weekend service starts slightly later and ends around the same time. So they basically start at around 7 a.m. on Saturdays. Well, what upgrades have been made to Caltrain stations as part of the modernization? Well, there's improved lighting, new platforms, and enhanced safety features like better fencing and grade crossings. Well, what challenges is Caltrain facing in terms of funding or expansion? Well, expansion costs have been increasing, which requires more money than the original estimated cost. Okay, so now I'm going to answer another one of your questions. How does Caltrain serve commuters during giant scale or other events in San Francisco? Okay, so this usually happens from spring to fall. So, Caltrain provides extra trains from San Francisco approximately 15 minutes after the last stop, and commuters can also use Muni for some of the trip. So, basically, during Giants games, sometimes trains are a little bit more crowded than usual because everyone's trying to go to Oracle Park, basically. So, what is the southern terminus of the Caltrain ride? Well, that is the Gilroy Station, is the southern terminus of the ride. Well, what is the northern terminus of the Caltrain ride? Well, the northern terminus of the Caltrain ride is San Francisco 4th and King. Okay, so what are the major transfer stations where riders can connect to BART, Muni, or VTA? Major transit hubs which are connected to BART, Muni, and VTA are Civic Center, Powell, Montgomery, and Embarcadero. How many zone is the Caltrain system divided into for fare calculation? Well, Caltrain system is divided into 6 zones for calculating fares. Well, what type of electric train is Caltrain using as part of its modernization? Well, Caltrain uses the Stadler-Kiss double-decker EMUs, which means electric multiple units. What is the name of the express service that skips certain stations? Well, the express service that skips certain stations is called
Santa Clara, your connection to BTA, ACE, Capital Corridor, and San Jose Mineta International Airport.
the skip stop service. So, I'm gonna answer the last question here. So, yay. So how has Caltrain ownership or management changed over the years? Well, I'm gonna answer this after this digital announcement preview.
I just think because they have all the class dinners, so I don't know where they. Remember to take them off. I have negative balance right now. No, I think I do.
This is southbound local train 630, making all stops to San Jose Diridon. Next stop, San Jose Diridon.
Well, Caltrain's railroad had transitioned from Southern Pacific's private railroad to a multi-agency railroad like Joint Powers Board, which involved the state of California and local
Doors
countries.
are closing. Please stay clear and hold on.
It also involved a new public board following a series of contract operators to run service. Alright, so we're leaving the Santa Clara station. So our final stop is San Jose Diridon. So I really hope you liked hearing this rail history leading up to Caltrain. So I really like sharing this information with you guys. So it has been fun riding to San Jose from the Menlo Park. So if there's any questions that I didn't cover, please let me know so I can include it in some of my other videos, because I want to answer all of your questions, you know. So I love riding these electric trains, like telling you the rail history and listening to the digital announcements. So I would sit at the top level of the train if you're like riding Caltrain, because you're gonna get a really nice view. So Caltrain offers free Wi-Fi, power outlets at each seat, and bathroom on these trains. So these trains go way faster than the diesel trains that I used to ride. So this video is leading up to a video where I'm actually going to talk about Caltrain's history, and that's going to be my video from San Jose to San Francisco, and I'll be giving so much information. So I've done a video where I go from Mountain View to Palo Alto. You should definitely check it out.
Now approaching San Jose Diridon, your connection to ACE, Capital Corridor, and BTA.
So if you're interested about Caltrain, you should definitely follow me since I give lots of information. So eventually I'll be filming on Amtrak's Coastal, Starlight, and Capital Quarter. So I give out lots of information and sometimes a horn preview. You don't want to miss out on any of the videos I've mentioned. So we're gonna be arriving in San Jose near at dawn soon. So before I go, I would love to give one last preview of this digital announcement for the final stop. Just listen really carefully.
Now approaching San Jose Diridon. This is the final stop for this train. Please be prepared to exit when the train comes to a complete stop and the doors open. Check around your seat and the overhead luggage rack for your personal belongings and dispose of all trash. Watch your step when leaving the train, and on behalf of our entire crew, thank you for choosing Caltrain.
Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.